Hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here to support the choir. The people you see on the stage right now have been used one class period during the day as a choir class. And they've all learned the same music, and we've put it all together for you today. We'll start with a multi-movement work by Antonio Vivaldi. It's a section of the Mass called Gloria. And we'll do 4 or 5 movements without interruption between. Okay? So here you go, the Vivaldi Gloria. Okay, here we go. Okay, make sure you're not locking your knees. Bend. Okay. Here we go. Oh, we're good? That was loud. Thank you very much. This choir will sing two more pieces this evening. We'll sing a Renaissance madrigal from Italy called Il Bianco e Dolce Cigno, which is about the beautiful and white swan. Maybe a coincidence to what's happening now, right? And then the second piece is by an American composer named Gwyneth Walker, and it's entitled I Will Be Earth. It will have two soloists in it, the first being Aaliyah Ward, and the second being Jack Swanner. As I'm speaking of solos, let's acknowledge Diaria Lane for her awesome solo in the Gloria. Thank you. So here's Il Bianco e Dolce Cigno and I Will Be Earth. Wiggle your knees while you're doing that, maybe.
Il
quick and have a seat. Christiana, your turn. Good. So the next piece that the singers still on stage will sing for you is a folk song from Bulgaria. And we just happen to have an exchange student from Bulgaria. So I thought it would be awesome if Christiana might just tell you a little bit about what this piece is about.
Hello, everybody. This is a folk song, as Dr. Wright said, and it's about a boy and a girl, and the action happens a long time ago, and basically he tells her that he will always wait for her, and he wants her to know that. And the song is called Večere Rado, which means have dinner rado, which basically means that he's telling her to have dinner and then go outside her door and wait for him.
Hi everyone, my name is Daria Lane and I have had the honor of holding the position of Treble Choir President for this past year. I've been a part of the Indian Springs Choir since 9th grade, And in that time, I've been able to meet the best people, sing the best and the hardest songs in the world, and go to places like New York City, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. It's hard to admit this, but I'll miss the chaos that comes with it all. I'll miss the hour-long practice rehearsals dedicated to learning new pieces, figuring out tricky rhythms, and everyone trying to learn when to stop at the end of Bon Seaba, or going over how to pronounce pieces in another language. Unfortunately, we weren't able to have it this year, but I'll definitely miss the choir tour. Being able to travel with friends around the country, or even the world if it hadn't been for COVID, is a privilege and an honor that many students our age can't say they have had. I remember my first choir tour in 9th grade to New York City. I was so excited to be able to travel with all of my friends and decide who I was going to sit with at each stop we made. But I also remember every returning choir member that year saying to me, "It's fun and all to have your friends with you on a loud bus, watching movies, eating snacks, having fun, but just wait until it's time to go home after spending every last second of your time with the same person for 5 days. Then you'll see who your true friends are." I remember laughing and shrugging it off what they said, but really guys, you don't have to spend every second with that person. Because in the end, you'll realize that you and your friend are both really mad at each other, but neither of you know why exactly. So what I ask for these remaining students is to cherish the moments you have together as a choir, or maybe schedule who you're sitting with on the journey to avoid any miscommunication. During my time here, I have also become significantly more appreciative of the people who work so hard to maintain such an integral part of our community. Dealing with the pandemic has been a struggle to say the least, but being able to sing such beautiful songs with friends in concerts or just together in class has been a privilege that I am glad I was able to have. We often take for granted the ability to congregate. So this year, although we weren't able to meet in the same capacity, I look forward to every single time we met together as a choir. I've especially enjoyed working with Dr. Wright. His positive and outgoing attitude has made a lot of the challenges that were presented this year worthwhile, and I've appreciated his relentless patience and cooperation for taking on the new role of choir director in such an unusual year. I would also like to say thank you to Dr. Jung for accompanying the choir and finding time in the year to practice with us. So thank you to everyone who has made these last 4 years in choir worthwhile. Okay. So every year, the Trumbull Choir votes on a senior to receive the Outstanding Senior Award. The recipient of this award has shown an exceptional amount of commitment to this choir, whether it be helping the stage managers when needed or being a leader in the soprano section. I'm glad to announce that the recipient of this award is Lily Geisen. The Trumbull Choir this past week have also voted for new members of the choir to hold officer positions in the coming year. The elections took hours, hours, to nominate and vote on the best candidate for the jobs, and I am very excited for what this new group of officers have in store. I ask that those recipients please stand as your name and position are called. So for librarian, Emma Peng. For business manager, Anna McCormick. For uniform manager, Addie Miller. For stage manager, Sophia Monteleone. For vice president, Kennedy Tyson. And finally, as the new Trumbull Choir president, is Virginia Slaughter. I am so excited for you guys in these new roles you have been chosen to hold. My advice to you is to do your absolute best, even when things get annoying or assignments and activities start piling up. Remember to lean on each other as officers when you need help and become a team that can work together through any challenge. Lastly, fight to maintain the choral experience you fell in love with and make this upcoming year your own. Thank you again for choosing me as your Trumbull Choir president this year, and I can't wait to see what this amazing choir has in store for the future.
Hi everyone, My name is Paul Weir. I'm a senior here, and I have had the honor and privilege of serving as the president of the Glee Club this year. I want to talk about my time in choir because I wanted to avoid cliches, and there's a lot of expectations that I had coming to Springs and every year, and the reality is that none of my expectations were met. So when I first arrived at Springs, I had no intention of joining the choir. I had sung 3 years at Advent, and I had frankly had enough of it. I was sick of the uniforms. I was sick of the Latin. I hated all of it. And so when I came to Springs, the choir seemed like a good time for those that wanted to be involved, but I wanted no part of it. I remember the last day of the first week of school, I was approached by Alon Goldfarb and Whit McDaniel. Some of our older students will remember them. They were both well over 6 feet, significantly taller than me. I still had not peaked at 15 in terms of height. And they asked me 2 questions. They said, "Hey, are you a freshman?" And I nervously replied, yeah. And they said, "Are you in choir?" And I said, "No, I don't think I'm going to join." But I realized very quickly that that was no longer in my hands, as they grabbed each of my arm and literally dragged me into Mr. Dibble's office. And before I know it, I was told I was a tenor 2. I had no idea what that meant. And I was in choir. So I ended up having a blast on the first retreat, and pretty soon I became really dedicated and involved in choir. Another incident of expectations not being met was my first choir tour. We were going to New York City, and about a week before the trip, we all had the opportunity to sign up for tour groups. So we would pick a group, sign up for a group of about 10 people. I unfortunately forgot, but I figured, Mr. Dibble is a smart guy. He'll know that I'll want to be with some of my freshman friends. I don't want to interact with too many upperclassmen, so he'll know what to do. So, of course, the next day, I come in, and the sign-up sheets are on the wall. Tour groups are posted, and it's me and 11 seniors, none of whom I'd ever spoken to. So good job, Mr. W. You really bungled that. So of course, on the bus ride up to New York, I was terrified. I didn't know how to approach these students. Again, all of them were taller than me. Some of them had bought maps of New York City, so I felt like I was totally outmatched on my knowledge of New York. But what I was surprised to find is that all of them were incredibly welcoming and happy that I was involved. It wasn't just that they included me in their activities, but they made an effort to reach out and talk to me. And I realized that from the freshmen to the seniors, that all the members of choir cared about each other and cared about making newer students feel welcome. I'd like to jump now to my junior year. I've been in chamber choir for 2 years, and I found myself as the only junior officer. So I was under a lot of pressure, but I was the uniform manager. It was a fairly easy job. All I had to do was measure some of the male students in the Glee Club, which I had already done. And now that that was done, measure them for suits, I had nothing left to do except carry around a single box of clip-on ties. That was my only responsibility for an entire semester of choir. And so I figured, I'm a smart guy, I know what I'm doing, how difficult could it be to carry around one box of ties? And so for the holiday concert in December of that year, I showed up to school ready to do my job, and I walked into the closet, those of you that know the closet where all the uniforms are kept, and I quickly discovered that the box of ties was nowhere to be found. But it was okay. I panicked a little bit, but I had packed 3 extra clip-on ties, so I had 3 in my pocket, and I figured, okay, the rest of the choir knows what they're doing. How many people could have forgotten their ties? And the answer to that number is 9 students forgot their ties at that concert. I only had 3 in my pocket, as I said before, and we had about 30 minutes to showtime. So for anyone that was there, you would have noticed me running all across the room, begging faculty members and parents for spare ties, calling every boarder on my contact list to see if they had a spare. It was a nightmare. But in the end, we made it work. Not all of them were black. Some of them were gray. One was striped. One was sort of a reddish black, or what some might call red. But in the end, everyone got their ties. And what mattered more was not my mistake, but the fact that the rest of the choir rallied, and nobody remembered the time mistake because the music we performed was so beautiful. And so the last expectation's a little more serious. After 3 years, we had all grown to love Mr. Dibble as a director. And at the end of that year, I think all of us were really shocked when he announced that he was leaving. We were all pretty worried about the new director coming in. As a senior, I felt frustrated that I would have to spend my last year at Springs acclimating a new director to the choir. In addition to that, a pandemic hit. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but that totally rocked the foundation of what choir meant. Choir, more than any other activity, has been hampered by the pandemic. Wearing masks makes it significantly harder to sing, and spreading out means that we couldn't feel like more of a choir. But at the end of this year, reflecting back on the challenging year that we've had, I feel nothing but immense pride and gratitude for what this choir has done. I'd like to thank Dr. Wright, who has been incredibly, he's been very patient with us. He's listened to myself and the other officers, and he acknowledges that, well, he knows this stuff corely, that this is a school with a set of traditions, and he's done an incredible job, and I think he deserves a round of applause for his work here. I'd also like to thank Dr. Zhang. Unfortunately, she has not been able to perform with the classes as much, rehearse with us as much, but her presence makes every rehearsal better, and I just want to thank her for the work that she's put in the 4 years that I've been here. And lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to all the seniors, especially some of my friends in the Glee Club that have been a constant in my time here. It's been nice to have people as my rock. I've never had to worry about singing a wrong note, because if I did, Jack Swanner would not hesitate to let me know. So a big round of applause for all the seniors. This is their last show tonight. So thank you to everyone for letting me be your Glee Club president. It has been an incredible honor, and I've had a blast. So now I'd like to present the Outstanding Senior Award. This award, as Diaria mentioned, goes to a member of the Glee Club, senior member of the Glee Club that was not an officer, but displayed exemplary dedication and leadership despite that. And so I'm absolutely thrilled to present this award to Cameron Collier. Come up. I'd also like to announce the officers for next year. Our officer elections took a little bit less time. We don't have nearly as many students here in the Glee Club, but nonetheless, I'm still incredibly proud and excited to see what these officers have in store for the choir next year. So for librarian, also you can stand when I announce your name. For librarian, Shaheen Kushar. Stage manager, Simon Ma. The business manager, Santiago Hu. Uniform manager, Carter Dunaway. Vice President, Henry Spradlin. And I'm thrilled to announce and invite him up, the next president of the Glee Club, Seth Walton. I'd also like to present Seth. For those of you that know, this ring has been passed down to all the choir presidents since I've been here. And so this is yours now. I have incredible faith that you will show exemplary leadership and dedication to the choir, and I'm very proud of you. So there you go. Thank you.
Glee Club up. Let me just introduce this piece really quick. This piece is by a romantic German composer named Franz Schubert, and it's called entitled Die Nacht, which means the night. And it throughout describes this beautiful night. The first line is, "Oh, a beautiful shining night, friendly stillness, heavenly peace." And I think you will find that the music fits the text quite well. So this is the Glee Club with Franz Schubert's Die Nacht.
Sehr My name is Eleanor Lee, and I've been in the Springs Choir for 3 years. So I just want to talk about my experience at Springs and sort of go on to talk about the senior surprise. As you can see, this is all of our seniors, and we'll be singing a song for you today called "Oh Love." But first, I'll talk about. I had the opportunity to talk about my experience at the Springs Choir, so I'd like to take that opportunity and make a good job out of it. So choir has been one of my most defining experiences here at Springs. I remember coming here when I was in 9th grade, so I wasn't a student here yet, and I watched the choir sing for the winter concert. The chamber choir, I don't remember what it's called, but it was a song about the stars, and I just remember the feeling I got as I watched. It was really beautiful, and it was one of the first concerts that I'd gone to that wasn't a piano or an orchestra. I played piano for 13 years, so that's context. And I found appreciation in the beauty shaped by these students like me, their voices filling a hall. When I came to Springs and joined the choir, I was really excited. As a pianist, I typically played alone, practiced alone, made music with only me and the piano. My fingertips were the orchestra, and though I loved that most about the piano, it was a new feeling acting as one part. I was an alto 2 when I first joined. I'm a soprano 2 now, and I cannot describe the satisfaction that I got when each piece, each part slid into each other and created this puzzle that seemed to fill the whole hall. I remember I tried to figure out how to describe the feeling when I was in choir, and I used to write poems, and I like to think that we were like flashlights in a deep, deep ocean. Our voices became like a collective beam that seemed to search for those in the audience that might need healing, people that might just want to listen to music created by those who found as much joy in the singing as we did. And it just felt like we were constantly discovering beauty, not only for ourselves but for everyone in the deep ocean with us. Choir was when I left the terrifying reminders of AP Euro papers and Algebra 2 tests and was able to focus only on what was beautiful. I always felt like cleansed when I left choir. I always felt happy and refreshed when I left choir for the day. Something about that collective energy was incredible, and it wasn't until this year that I realized how much I appreciated being a part of that force. The basses behind me was an experience I had forgotten when we got to sing together again this year, how their voices seemed to tip me over with the force of their sound. This year, I realized how important choir was to me, how important it was for me to see our choir thrive, to see it continue to influence students, and leave a legacy in the Springs school community. I've never really cared so much for a particular community, a place that connected everyone from across the school and joined them together to create this beauty. This year made me realize how honest music can be. It's kind of scary. How much time, how much thought, how much work, how much love you're giving to it. Everyone can see it, and you can feel it yourself as well. You can't cheat with music. Like with all forms of cheating, it's disrespectful to the art, and everyone knows. It's an incredible thing to have music, to get to experience, and we should never forget to appreciate this. I can't take it for granted, the feeling of floating happily in 100 other voices. It did not come easily, and this year has made me realize this. I thank Springs for giving me this opportunity to find happiness in music making with others, and for creating a choral community that made me passionate for its well-being. Choir is what brings me back to Springs, and I'll continue listening for the years to come and see how we are. And I want to thank Dr. Jung. I don't know where she went. I wanted to thank her for, being such an amazing presence here in the Springs Choir, for holding us all together. And I thank Dr. Wright for coming in during this COVID-19 pandemic and just helping us continue to sing the music that we love to sing. So thank you all. And we'll be singing "Oh Love," and this is all of our seniors. And I hope you guys enjoy.
Are the frogs too loud? Is that what it is? We lost a chord? Okay, great. This is the chamber choir. They have been meeting on Monday nights regularly throughout the year, and some Thursdays mixed in there. And it is made up of most of the advanced singers, of more of the older kids, right? Juniors and seniors, along with some younger students that haven't been able to schedule choir during their day. And I would just like to really commend the older singers for welcoming the younger singers in and letting them be a part of this special ensemble. The first piece we will sing is a piece by a gentleman named Ola Yelo, and it's entitled Northern Lights. It's in Latin, but it describes this wonderful, terrible, mystic thing that the Northern Lights are. And he wrote it while he was in Norway, so he was like seeing the Northern Lights as he was writing it. And you can see it kind of in the writing of the line, how the lines kind of flow, much like if you've seen the Northern Lights, they do. The next two pieces are by a composer named Randall Stroop, and they are the first two in a set of three pieces. The first entitled In Time of Silver Rain, and Eleanor Lee will come back down and join Dr. Jung on the piano for that, for some four-hands piano. That's really awesome. And then the second piece is entitled The Pasture. We hope you enjoy. Thanks.
Saw me
as we set up for our last set here with the full choir. I'll call you guys up in a second, but Virginia Slaughter, would you help me out real quick? Just put your folder down and come out. See these awesome, beautiful white flowers right out here on the piano thing? As I call seniors' names, would you please hand them to them? I have immense respect and gratitude for the seniors of this year. Everything that they knew in the choir world just exploded and went away. And they have welcomed me in with grace and with love, and I am forever grateful to you guys for that. Okay? So if you guys just close your folders for a second, we're chilling for a second. Nobody's singing a song right now. Okay? So I know seniors, you're plugged in. If you'd unplug real quick as I call you up. And Virginia, hand you a flower. I'm going to start on this side with Lily Geisen. Jiaying Liu. Eleanor Lee. Charlie Reevy. CJ Edwards. Maggie Richards. Dr. Mayor Paul Weir. Sawyer Impello. Jack Swanner. Cameron Collier. And I think our last one over there is Diaria Lane. Okay. Is Bob the only one we want? Did I miss anybody? Oh, Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry you're out there. Jordan Hudson. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I'd like to send a special shout out to Bob Fu, who's in China right now. Am I missing anybody else? Just Bob, right? Just Bob? Okay. All right. Well, if the rest of the choir would like to come up, stand in front. We have 3 more pieces for you. A Yoruba piece from Nigeria. That is a welcome song called Eoru O. And then we'd love to have any recent alumni that are here come sing Homeward Bound, and then any alumni come up and sing the alma mater. So thank you again so much for being here. I'd also like to thank our administration for work that they have done throughout this year to make us be able to do this all year. Even though it wasn't perfect, we were able to meet and be together. I'd also like to thank the faculty with my department, especially Emmanuel Ellenis on the sound back there. Thank you. Our department head, Clay Colvin, and Michael Sheehan for all the beautiful art that you see in Town Hall. If you haven't been in there yet, please go in. Mr. Dane Peterson for all the awesome work he does and help and all the help he gives us in putting these things together. So let's put that together. And then a special shout out to Dr. Haesuk Jung, who has shared a rehearsal space with me all year, which is not an easy thing to do, I assure you. And I am just so appreciative to her for all the insight she has given me for what the choir has been here. And I can't wait to continue to make music with her in the future. So thank you, Dr. Jung. All right, you guys. You want to sing?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Here we go. Ready to rock?
Esha! Oruo, obaefeo, aoferete. Esha! Oruo,
join us. Emmanuel, are we good here? Somebody's messing with their mic. Put it. Any alumni that would like to come join and sing the alma mater, please do. That was awesome sauce. There we go. Alright. Oh, there he is. Thanks for that. That was awesome. We're done. We still need your children for a few minutes to clean all this up for graduation, though. Okay? So we're all going to get changed and get all this cleaned up. Thank you again so much for coming and for being here. Thank you for those that watched on the live stream so much. Have a safe and lovely night. Bye.